got the split screen going on. How we doing?
Awesome. I feel great.
Scott, what about you, man?
I feel really good because I have this amazing title in my possession.
Oh my gosh.
I will say it does look great, but not on you.
Because you don't have a good fashion sense, Noah. I don't know what else to tell you.
I told Scott that it's funny how at first he said we could vacate the title and
I don't
then
ever remember saying that.
crown the first ever champion at SummerSlam, but then
There is no evidence of that happening.
as soon as it got made, he just decided, you know what, I'm gonna take the title and
I
run.
don't ever remember saying that. So
Left my house, went back to Lee Summit as fast as he could.
It's just, whenever he has the belt, his head looks a lot bigger. It's weird. I can't, pin it down to one thing, but it's wild.
you guys can hate all you want. I'm still the rightful champion. I just want you to remember that. Okay.
Well,
What's that say? What's that say right there? Let me read it for you. Scott.
Well,
And that's been this week's episode of High Risk. Thanks for watching, guys. No. Guys, we had a decent week in wrestling, I would say. Overall, I think Raw kind of dropped the ball. SmackDown yet again picked it up, and we also got, as Noah put out on our Facebook page, and I just put it out on our Twitter. We got some pretty cool screenshots from WWE 2K18. Guys, I'm so excited. I'm ready for something new, and I really have high hopes for this game. I think it's going to deliver.
Yeah, looking at if you go to the WWE 2K Devs YouTube channel, they show the process for how they make the models for the game, how they take everybody in after the shows, do an entire face and body capture, and try to mold it to exactly like that. Because after they do everything, it's sort of like having to really chisel it down to exactly what the model is in a video game, and it looks really cool the way they show the process and show how everything works. So seeing the behind the scenes and how excited the overall developmental team is makes me excited, because you can see just on their faces that a lot of changes have gone into this. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see what happens in November.
Scott's excited too.
I don't know. I try not to get hyped about video games because I like to hold my opinions until the actual game comes out. Because obviously in those trailers and in the pictures, they're gonna show you the best physical performance of that game possible.
Yeah.
So just because what we see on the trailer doesn't always represent what you're gonna get. So on video games, I kind of try to keep my excitement to a minimum until I actually get my hands on the game. So.
I know we dove into all this in the last episode. So, guys, if you didn't catch last week's episode where we talked quite a bit about is it the collector's edition of the game?
Yes.
Seen Enough edition?
Yeah. So we talked about that in the last episode. You can go check that out. It's We've Seen Enough. So you can go and kind of hear what we had to say about that. Guys, since last week, have your opinions changed on it? Do you think you're going to pay the $150 for a really nice action figure and an autographed plaque, or do you think that you're just going to go with the deluxe edition?
I think for me and what I have in my wallet, I think the deluxe is going to be just fine. I don't think I'm going to be hurting too much for an action figure that I'm sure I can get later on eBay.
Yeah. Scott, did you any change your heart since then?
I'm probably not getting a deluxe edition now. If I buy it, it's just gonna be the regular copy. It's not gonna be the deluxe edition.
Okay.
I'm not a huge. Kurt Angle's fine. RVD's fine. Take it or leave it. To me, it's not worth the extra $30. So.
I'll probably. I know last time I was kind of on the fence about it, and I was kind of for the collector's edition, kind of not. I think I've decided I'll probably go with the deluxe, and it's a little bit because the Cena package, that whole thing's just not really worth it to me after I got to thinking about it. And then I also just think that this will be the first video game that I'll get the pre-order since I had a PlayStation 3. So I'm pretty excited about just the whole process of pre-ordering and a late night release of some kind, perhaps. Or
last time they got lazy and gave it out at 11 o'clock. Hey. Hey.
So not only will we get it 4 days sooner, we might get it, a little bit sooner than that. Yeah, so that's probably the route that I'm going to go for, just the experience of owning the deluxe edition as the first video game that I will have bought on a new console. I'm happy to be with the times. I'm really happy about it.
Yeah, and you can thank me for that, but it's no biggie.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Noah. I appreciate you buying me a PlayStation at ridiculously low prices. Thank you, JCPenney. Who does not endorse this show at all. I don't want anybody to think.
Yeah.
But we are accepting any endorsements that anybody wants to give us. Jimmy John's?
Yes, please. I want that.
Papa John's would be great too, pay-per-view nights.
Yes.
Ooh. Yeah, and I'll even let you guys wear gear with the logos of our sponsors on it. I won't get weird about it. You guys can wear whatever you want.
Yeah.
So what do we want to dive into first, guys? We got Raw, SmackDown, a little bit of NXT action, some debuts going on over there. What do we want to do? What do you guys want to do?
Let's just get Raw out of the way. Just for what it was and everything it was not.
It started out, you had Kurt Angle come out. He's in Pittsburgh. It's, oh my gosh, they got a new shirt out.
Yeah.
And then Brock Lesnar and
Gracie is just something else right now.
Oh my gosh, that dang cat. So that darn cat, isn't that a movie from a while ago? That darn cat. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, wrestling. So Brock Lesnar comes out with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman makes the statement that if Brock loses at SummerSlam, which he's going to, then Brock will leave the WWE. I think Paul Heyman said he's going with him. Which obviously that's not going to happen. I think, and I think there's been some rumors going on about who he's going to work with next or who they think should kind of take that spot. But I'm not disappointed in seeing Brock go. I was over the Brock Lesnar thing a long time ago.
We've discussed it in the past.
Yeah, I've been over it for a while, and the Goldberg situation, that just made me even more done with him. So, Noah, you look like you're itching to say something, man. What's up?
So, I had it and I left it. But okay, so first off, just the fact that Brock was even there was shocking and surprising because they didn't advertise for it. I remember just watching it and then being in awe that this was happening. So I did mark out a little bit there because it was kind of cool. But I feel like it's a little convenient that Brock says he'll just sort of disappear like this, given that John Jones has been knocking on the
There's only so many
door.
storyline reasons he can be gone for extended periods of time. There's only so many ways he can do it.
There's so many, but I feel like just off of other stories I've read, not that anything is obviously pinned down to anything, but it sounds like, from what I've read, Brock might be interested in another UFC return.
He's still got 6 months left on the suspension right now. Since he retired in February, when he retired, they took his name out of the USADA testing pool. So he still has 6 months left on his suspension. So the closest, even if he started right now, the closest date would be January, and that's when the Royal Rumble is. And on top of that, would he really be taking a fight between the Royal Rumble and Mania? Me, that's not something I would see Brock doing. Or I don't think Vince would let him do that, because Vince wants him looking good for Mania. I'm sure he'd be fine with it after Mania, but not right before Mania.
I think he'd be fine with it right before. If he took a fight
with John Jones, with a solid chance Brock is going to lose that match.
If it was like the same night as the Rumble, that's still a few months to prepare. Like
It's
that.
not
That
the
gives them enough time.
preparation. It's the fact that you have Brock Lesnar, who they like to think is this huge draw, and he's going to have an MMA fight before their biggest pay-per-view of the year, and potentially
mean-
lose all that mystique they have with him. That would be
Well, then,
stupid.
okay, but then look at it like this. He wrestled Mark Hunt just to find out that he was taking performance-enhancing substance. So what is that like?
Well,
Doesn't
Mark
that
Hunt
take away-
also wasn't a world champion MMA fighter. John Jones is arguably the #1 pound-per-pound MMA fighter in the world.
in his weight division. I mean, but
No, do you not know what pound for pound means, Noah?
I know what it
This is
means,
not an
but, you know,
MMA podcast. Continue.
Yeah.
What else are we
Yeah.
going to talk about?
I'm loving it, guys. This is why I love talking to you guys about it. I just put the coins in the machine and let you guys run with it. Next, we have the Hardys versus the Club, and of course, we have the Hardys going over in that match. With the Club, I don't know if it hurts him or not. At first, I was like, we're burying the Club. We're burying the Club.
You can only bury them so far. There's not
Yeah.
much lower they can go at this point.
No, and I feel like at least you're losing to the Hardys, and you're not losing to like the Ascension over and over and over and over. So I don't know, but backstage, I saw a video. I believe it was WWE.com that put it out. It was Matt and Jeff right after the match, and it was more of their broken gimmick kind of coming out. So I'm just wondering. I guess SummerSlam would be a good time to officially like let them run wild with that, and I'm really looking forward to that. I didn't really care for the broken gimmick when it first started up, but now with all the hype and everything, it's like okay, I want to see it on this level, see what they can do with it, to see if it works.
I mean, I don't know. It's because I, as you said, whenever we first saw, I was the exact same way with the final deletion. I think it was their first little stint that they did. I thought it was dumb. I was like,
Yeah.
what is this? This is garbage.
Yeah.
And then it's almost, you hop on the bandwagon train as soon as you hear everybody else is like, no, what are you talking about? That was awesome. And then you go back and watch it, and it's like, okay, I shouldn't have watched it like it was a wrestling match. I should have done it like, it's just...
You got to watch it for what it is. You can't analyze
Yeah.
it, go over-analyze it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's almost like watching an entirely new wrestling promotion. Like, it's with its own unique style, and that's exactly what the broken gimmick is. It's its own unique style. So, I'm just interested to see if Vince is even interested. Because I feel like Vince doesn't care. I feel like Vince is in this autopilot mode, and he's not coming off for anything nowadays. It's hard for me to see where Vince really cares and where he just, let it run its course. So.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Vince not caring, me and Scott were talking about the next match of the night was a cruiserweight match, 6-man tag match. Really, honestly, I mean, I kind of suffer through the cruiserweight matches, and it's just because nobody seems to care. So it's like if the company doesn't care, why should I care? Me and Scott were talking about how you really can't find any merchandise.
Yeah,
for
we
the
looked it
for
up.
the
There's not a
cruiserweights.
single person in the cruiserweight division that has a T-shirt.
No.
Neville has a T-shirt, and that's from like 2 years ago, whenever he first came up to the main roster.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
to me, it's like you're not even trying to make any extra money off of them. You're not trusting that their merchandise can move, so you know their product isn't good enough to even push stuff. So to me, it's just like, why are we wasting TV time? Why are you wasting their time and putting them at risk in a match when, as a company, you don't care about them, is what it seems like. And it's like I said, the match, it was a 6-man tag. You have some decent spots in there that's moving fast. It's that fast-paced stuff. But it's just like, I don't care, and nobody else seems to care. So I guess I'm just kind of over the cruiserweights, as I have been for a while.
I mean, that's all it boils down to, that whenever you start recognizing that it's just there to simply exist,
Yeah.
and there's nothing behind it, well then, yeah, nobody's going to care for it. I mean, obviously the flips and stuff are cool.
Yeah.
Anybody's gonna think that's cool,
Yeah.
but what's the meaning behind it? What's driving this? And there's nothing that you can really pin it down to. I just feel like the cruiserweight belt could stand, but just not in its own division. Like, I just feel like it shouldn't be that way. I would love to see Cedric Alexander go for like an IC title run or something like that, but he is in 205 Live. He's a cruiserweight. He's in that weight class, whatever WWE wants
He's
to
been
make
labeled, and they're not going to take that label off of him.
Yeah, exactly. So it just sucks that, and that's what Austin Aries was talking about. That he's pretty much in that box, and he's not going to get out of it, and none of those wrestlers are going to get out of it. So it's an interesting place for Neville because he's at the top of where he's at, but the top of where he's at is absolute garbage.
Yeah, it doesn't
so
mean
it's
anything.
I mean, everybody talks, or at least everybody that I've seen like in interviews, or at least Vince. It's like the good old brass ring, break the glass ceiling, stuff like that.
What more can Neville do at this
point? What more can Neville do? Like, there's nothing else he can do. Like, but yeah, it's just pointless at this point.
Yeah. Well, in that match, we had TJP, Tony Nese, and Daivari. I call him Daivari just because he's Daivari's brother. And then Cedric Alexander, Rich Swann, and Tozawa. And, of course, they're the team that went over. So, I mean, a decent match. Feel free to go back and watch it. One thing that we've talked about in recent episodes is the IC title and how it just feels kind of dry and stagnant with the Dean and the Miz thing over and over. Jason Jordan shows up on Miz TV, and I think that's a great place for him to start. I think the IC title needs something different. Not that Miz isn't a great champ. He's good on the mic. I was never
been doing the
fan
same
of him.
thing for like a year and a half now.
Yeah,
like,
it's just
come
time
on,
for something
give him
different.
something else to do. Yeah,
it's time for something different. I think it needs newer talent behind it and somebody that can compete at the level that Jason Jordan can. Yeah, I don't know. I'm all for it. If it means something different besides Dean and The Miz, then good.
I'm just curious how the crowd is gonna feel though, because Jason Jordan didn't get a big pop whenever he walked down to the ring, or even whenever he was chucking people over his head.
But he did not get boos, so I think that's the important thing here.
I don't want to say it's too soon, but I feel like we need more backstage father-son segments of comedicness, because I feel like like everybody loves comedy.
Yeah.
I feel like that would sort of
a little more character development, something.
Precisely.
Well, and they posted that picture of the Angle family, and we'll throw that up on the screen. We'll throw that up on the screen really fast so you guys can look at that. But there you have Kurt and his family with
his real family.
His real family, minus kids from a previous marriage. But and then you have Jason Jordan, who
so awkward.
It looks like he belongs, but it looks like he doesn't belong. I mean, it's this weird and I mean, obviously they're not saying that that's he's a kid by the wife that he's with now. It's somebody he hooked up with in college. But I saw that and I was like, okay, they're really gonna run with this. They're gonna make us believe that they'll probably be on Maury, I imagine.
Oh my gosh!
And if they are, I would buy it. Scott, we're going. We'll just see Maury and Jerry Springer all in one day.
You are the father.
Wow.
I'd love it. I'd be there. 100%.
Who's the mama? That's what they'll call it. Who's the mama? And we'll just that would be a cool. Yeah, Vince, run with that. We'll just have Maury come out, be the host of Raw that night, and do a DNA test on all of Kurt's girlfriends from the past.
Oh my God! Figure out which one it is. Oh man.
It would never happen for obvious reasons because Dixie's white. But what if it was Dixie Carter? That would be the only way that, oh man, it's gold. It's gold. Okay, then we got Sheamus and Rollins. Rollins going over. a decent match to watch. Don't know what it has to do with anything, but okay. Bray and Finn, guys, I'm over the moon with this Bray and Finn thing. You had Bray go out there and talk his talk, and then you had the Undertaker-esque vibe of Finn Balor with the heartbeat and the couple spotlights kick in, and then Finn comes out in the ring. He's just in the ring like this, waiting. So it just gave me chills. This is what I want. I want kayfabe through the roof between these two guys. That's what I need. That's what I think this whole angle needs. What's your guys' thoughts on this?
Go ahead, Scott.
What if they have like a throne match because like he's the Demon King and then Bray's supposed to be like the Eater of Worlds and all this, so he could be. They can make it like the first one to go and sit up on a throne would be the winner of the match, and they'd be the true king or whatever.
I think if we can have a House of Horrors match, we can have a match like that. No, I'm with you, Matt. It's very exciting. I feel like it can only go up from here. I feel like they're just scratching the surface with this, and I feel like the closer we get to SummerSlam, the more mind games and the more kayfabe heavy we're gonna get into everything.
I can just see Finn on this chair. He's just like squatting on the chair, and all of a sudden his song goes. I can see it happening, guys. He's
all for it. He's all for it.
Book it.
So I think it would be cool if, like, when Finn goes to the ring, when maybe this is a Mania thing and not really a SummerSlam thing, but when he's like full decked out demon mode, have like broken or like lost souls or whatever, like make like a walkway for him, like he's like walking on their backs or something on the way down.
It's kind of cool. It hurt to be the guys, but
I mean, hey, we got a whole bunch of talent not being used. Call up the cruiserweight division. Tell them to lay down and let Finn walk on them. They'd be on their hands and knees or whatever, but like just have them like in pain or whatever. Then he's like, I'm just seeing this like walking on the souls type thing to get to the ring.
It's cool, but I mean, is like how far is the WWE gonna go for something like that? Do they really want to go all demon heavy on this for their family friendly product?
You had a dead man. I mean, who was essentially the devil incarnate. I mean, he was, I don't know. I feel like it could be done.
Okay. All right.
Budget cuts. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, there won't be any pyro involved. No pyro, but it'll get done.
Be a really cool looking light show.
We'll get some. You know what's crazy is they will cut budget so that we won't have pyro ever, probably. Mania maybe, but I guarantee you, the next chance they get to project some bugs onto the ring, they're gonna spend the money on that.
Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah.
Well, apparently, but the reasons behind some of these budget cuts, according to Dave Meltzer, is that WWE promised like all these profits from this year, and since the subscriber rate is not as high as they want it to, they're trying to cut back on their spending so it looks like they've made more money because they're not spending as much. So I think that's, from what I understand, that might be why they're doing all these budget cuts. So it looks like they've made more money.
I don't know. I feel like there are some I mean, I'm not a businessman, obviously, but I feel like there are some tweaks that could be made to maybe turn some things around, maybe do a little 360 spin-a-rooney, maybe turn those minuses to pluses, but...
Well, see, if you do a 360, you're going to be right back where you started, so I wouldn't recommend
you're
that.
right. I totally did that.
That's how Noah's. Well, he said he's not good at business, so it would start out. It would start out going, and then it would just crash and burn. Oh man. Well, maybe if they don't wait until 3 months after the fidget spinners come out and actually put those out when they're supposed to.
I'd love to see that. How much money it takes for them to make one fidget spinner, then to turn around and sell it. I want to see those numbers, how they work out.
It probably cost them a whole 65 cents to $1, and they're selling them for probably like $10. So, All right, moving on in the night. Again, love the Bray and Finn stuff. Can't get enough of it. Give us more. It's great. We had the main event of the night, the triple threat match that was not the main event of the night.
Yeah.
But that's fine because, as Vince has said before, there's multiple main events. The opening match is the main event. The pre-show is the main event. Some Vince logic for you. A little bit of Vince logic for you. Anyway, we had Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe. And guys, this match came on at like 8:45 or 9 o'clock. I was all excited for it. It's like, these guys are going to go for an hour. It's awesome. And they did not go for an hour. It was decent.
Yeah.
It was decent. Of course, we had Roman Reigns going over, which to me, guys, it's not, again, I've said this before, it's not the fact that he's winning. It's the booking at this point, for me, is just not making sense. Because on his own, when it's one-on-one, he's having trouble putting away Samoa Joe and Braun Strowman when it's one-on-one. Half the time he can't pull it off. Most of the time he can't pull it off. But then in a triple threat match, when you get those two in the same ring with him, he beats both of them.
Yeah, it's just weird. I get what you're saying, but you know, triple threat matches are pretty crazy, dude. You know, there's a lot of factors that can go into play. It's a no DQ, so.
Oh yeah, I mean.
But I would have liked to have seen a little bit, because I feel like out of those three guys, Braun is the most physically imposing. I would have loved to have seen Samoa Joe and Roman maybe team up to sort of get Braun out of the way, and then come back and, you know, take him out. But I don't know. I mean, it's a great match. Everybody looks great. Roman goes over, but I don't know how many matches they're all going to have between now and SummerSlam. But typically, you know, whoever looks the strongest going in to said pay-per-view match is typically not the one winning. But it could throw a swerve on us. But it's one of those matches where literally every person could win. Braun could win and we'd be fine with it. Joe could win, we'd be fine with it. Roman, it just depends on how it's done. Brock, that's the only one that it's a definite please lose, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
Scott, your opinion on the ordeal?
Yeah, fine. I'm okay. I'm glad that they're not doing Roman versus Braun or Roman versus Brock.
Yeah.
That by itself, all four of these men are rightfully the main event. So I have no problems with it being. This is one of those situations where a fatal four-way actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas instead of just throwing four people into a match and calling it a fatal four-way, so I mean I'm cool with it. We'll see what happens.
I mean, I'm also just glad that they are not making a pay-per-view specific for this match, and
that is really eating at you, isn't it? That for some you just can't get over one pay-per-view called Fatal 4-Way.
No, I could just see Vince being like, "Oh, what's the best thing that we could do to really get this match to go over? Roman, what do you think?" I'm thinking Fatal 4-Way, dog. You know, and then it's a Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view. Come see the Fatal 4-Way at Fatal 4-Way.
And so, I mean, to go on that for a second, remember when Elimination Chamber was like at No Way Out in Survivor Series, or was it at Survivor Series one year? I think it was. But like now, I mean, Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Like, come see the come see the Hell in a Cell match at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Like, you know, it can be. I'm a fan of that. Like, just for instance, No Way Out. Having the Elimination Chamber there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, okay, call it that, but don't. To me, it's like, don't call the pay-per-view the Elimination Chamber and then have the Elimination Chamber match. I guess I'm just. I mean, the era that I was brought up in, it was like Bad Blood. You had a lot of your hardcore matches there. No Way Out. That's where you would have your cage matches, Hell in the Cells.
Extreme Rules has a kendo on a stick match, right?
That's going to be the next. I'm saying it is not out.
It's going to be called Kendo on a stick.
You cannot
Kendo
rule out
stick on a pole.
that Vince would call the pay-per-view Kendo stick on a pole. Like, Anyway, okay. So to follow up the main event that took place 3 matches away from
From
the
them.
actual main event. Following that match was Elias and Kalisto. Not gonna lie, I changed the channel. I just and it was good old
He finally
Elias.
recovered from whenever Braun put him in a trash can
Yeah, and then pushed him
2 months later.
Pushed him off a 2 foot platform. A lot of damage was done that day, guys. A lot of damage.
His new music, Kalisto's, like they're doing a lot with music nowadays because Big Cass, his music changed like on the
He's
spot.
by
So
himself now. Well, his
no,
music's
it
gonna
changed
change.
twice.
They
It's
changed it
changed.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, good because that last music he had was just tragic.
it
Yeah.
was. Yeah,
About
well,
as general as it gets.
I'm not a fan of this one either.
Yeah,
I
it's-
don't know.
it's a-
I
it's
may,
a-
yeah,
It's a little step up. It's not anything I would brag home about.
yeah.
It's not going to be added to my workout playlist. We'll
That
leave
is
it
a
at
tough list to make right there.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
it's crazy because I have Conway Twitty on my workout playlist.
Gosh.
Oh,
But I mean, with all that and just subtle changes, Elias Sampson is now just Elias.
yeah,
So that's
they're all about that one word, type stuff. TJ
Yeah.
Perkins, that was too much, so now it's just TJP. All that stuff. Budget cuts, man. We can't afford to say. You can't afford the airtime it takes to say the full name. You gotta cut that.
Well,
down.
that and then now you don't have to have Samson in the graphics, so that's cheaper now instead of having to type out that. It's budget cuts. Budget cuts.
It doesn't take as long to make that, so you're paying somebody less. I get it. Cutting budgets all
Budget
across
cuts.
the board. All right. So again, Elias goes over in that match, which he should, because Kalisto right now to me is just eh. Okay, Bailey and Nia Jax. Not a bad match. Nia's. I think it's Nia's time. I would like to see Nia as the champ. I think she's improved a lot in a short amount of time. She's still not quite, main event caliber. I wouldn't say, but I just think it would be nice to see her get the title for a little bit. She could drop it in a month or a month or two, but it'd be nice to see that.
I think it's only fitting, given that she sort of put Bailey on the bench.
Yeah, now Bailey's
for who
out.
knows how long.
Yeah,
But I
Bailey's out
think
with her shoulder.
I think it's only right, or I could see them just shoehorning in Sasha, just because that'll probably get a better reaction at SummerSlam. But
Well, what
Yeah.
I originally heard at SummerSlam was supposed to be a Fatal 4-Way for the Women's Championship on Raw. But then since they decided to do the Fatal 4-Way for the Men's Championship, they didn't want to have 2 Fatal 4-Way matches. So that's why they made Bailey the #1 contender, and they're just going to do a singles match.
see, I think that's dumb. But I'm just like, so Bailey. I don't know. My thing
That's
is,
what they do,
I
is they
I
just-
thought we were past Bailey. I thought we already did this. Like.
We did.
As to what Emma said, when is her time? And also, when is Nia's time as well? But I'm just like, man, come on, like, give Emma some love. She deserves it. She's a good
and
wrestler.
I feel like sleeping your way to the top is not the way to go. It's it'll get you where you want to go, but you might walk away with something else on what you want. So if it doesn't work out, Miss Emma, between you and Jason Jordan, I would just like to say that I am a prime candidate to be your boo, and I would hereby like to submit my application for a chance to wine and dine you and take you out and just be an overall gentleman to you. So
Oh,
Emma,
man.
I'm your guy.
She doesn't like that. She's an Aussie guy. You gotta take her out for some shrimp on the Barbie or something like that. Go punch some kangaroos.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Maybe if I
Oh my
dress
god.
if I dress as a kangaroo, she'll notice me.
Just go
Is that
as
like-
Kangaroo Dun, my man. There you
Yeah.
go.
But if she's used to kangaroos, why would being a kangaroo, she'd be like, oh, it's just another kangaroo?
Well, I think it would be the shock value of here's a very attractive hunk of a man dressed as a kangaroo. I think that's the point,
I
that I'm making here.
Well, I think the
I'm
first
official.
thing you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to add our entrance music to your workout playlist because I think that's step number one.
It's
Oh
on there.
man.
Oh, is it? Oh,
It's on
okay.
there.
Oh okay.
It's on
It was
there.
already there. Yeah. No.
Oh yeah. I have hers, Alexa Bliss, just in case it doesn't work out with her and what's his face. Yeah, I mean, Miss Bliss. The invite goes out to you too. The invite goes out to you too. I don't know what to dress up as for you. This is getting into some weird role playing thing.
It's getting a little out of hand.
We'll dress up, Anyway, the the tragic train wreck of a main event that's almost as bad as me assing out Emma and Alexa Bliss. Big Show.
It just
Big
did not
Show.
end well.
Big Show versus. I tried to go for comedy, and it took a weird turn into something sexual, and it's just now it's out there for everybody. I'm not gonna edit it out. It's just it is what it is. Big Cass versus the Big Show,
Whew.
and we have
Big casshole. Get it
Big
right.
Big casshole. Sorry, not a big castle, a big casshole. So he goes over via DQ. Maybe we're setting up for a Giants only hardcore extreme. Nobody's gonna bleed because it's PG match of some kind.
Yeah, sounds about right, I think we need to give the super heavyweights their own division, give them a show every Tuesday night, give them their own belt.
We'll do a tournament. We'll do a tournament, and the ring has to break in every match. The ring has to break. That way we just never get enough of it.
That's how your match ends. The match ends whenever the ring breaks,
Yeah.
We got it. We got it.
What if they just ripped off one of the ring posts and start hitting each other with them?
I'd be down for that. You know what we would call it? 405 Live. Yeah, it'd be over 405 times again. That's it.
405
That's it,
Live. Oh.
Hey, dude.
No, that was a good one. He's on it today.
No.
Well, I think that's a good way to end the conversation of Raw. Stay tuned, everybody. For $9.99 a month, you can get the WWE Network, and you'll see the brand new show, 405 Live, featuring super heavyweights only. There's going to be backflips and beating each other with ring posts, and rings are going to fall apart, and the company's going to tank. So,
Yep.
yeah. Scott, SmackDown. What's up, Ben?
I'm not sure how I can come back from 405 Live.
You're not going to compete with it. You're just not.
Well, first match, they started off with AJ versus Kevin Owens for the U.S. Championship,
It's great.
which I was a little surprised. Long story short, it was a good match. Long story short, AJ wins after a ref bump because Kevin Owens went to go hit AJ and he missed and hit the ref. So then the ref couldn't see out of one eye, and then AJ was kind of like a roll up, or Kevin went for the power bomb, and then AJ rolled underneath him. And he went for the pin, but Kevin's arm his shoulder was clearly up before he even started counting. But because of the ref bump, the ref couldn't really see. He just saw Kevin was down and did a 3 count. So out of all that, Shane McMahon is the referee for the U.S. title match at SummerSlam. And what I thought about this is I was like, well, we've talked about how these secondary titles don't seem to be as important, but honestly, with Shane McMahon as your guest referee, that's kind of a big deal. Just in the fact that Shane McMahon, Vince's son, obviously, so, they're definitely, at least on SmackDown, they're putting in the work to elevate that U.S. title.
Yeah.
What they should have done, and I was really I thought they were going to do it. I thought Daniel Bryan was going to be the special guest ref. I was waiting in the wings.
He can't take a bump, though. He cannot be in the ring when action happens.
I was just waiting for it, man.
I would have hoped for it. I knew it wasn't going to happen. I would have been thrilled.
One day, Scott. One day.
Yeah, when he goes to the indie scene, he's going to come through Kansas City one of these days. And, well,
Yeah.
I'll be there. I don't care if you guys are there. I'll be
You
there.
you should have went when he came through for that car
I know.
show.
I regret it. I regret it. I should have done it. Man.
Live and learn. Live and learn.
Yeah. What else happened? Honestly, I think one of the highlights, probably one of my top 2 moments on the show, is we always talk about how Sami Zayn is a super underrated superstar. Chad Gable.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He can put on a hell of a match. Like with Rusev, the way he's like, obviously there's super big size difference between them. But Gable was putting on a hell of a match with him.
It was very interesting, like a very interestingly choreographed match in the first few minutes.
Chad Gable he's I'm really digging Chad Gable.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they run with it. You know, we'll see. Hope he doesn't turn into Sami Zayn where they just put him out there for a good match, because that's just kind of sad to see.
Yeah.
But no, I was real surprised with Chad Gable. So this is either his second or third singles match on television, and he's well exceeded expectations, in my opinion, of his matches. That was my number one thing from this week on SmackDown. Was just Chad Gable, just out of nowhere. He's just been tearing it up. I hope like I said, I hope they utilize him. He's good. He kept the American Alpha music, though. By the way, I noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
He did. So does Jason Jordan have a new music? I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like they tried to pull from Kurt Angle's theme a little bit as like inspiration, because it's very like heroic Olympian trumpets and stuff. It's pretty fitting. So
anyway, Chad Gable, 2 thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good, because I was kind of worried about him.
Yeah.
I'm worried about both of them, but it's good to see him.
You got to give him the time to actually do something, and you know he can put on a good match. So I just want to see them do some more character stuff with him.
Yeah.
Trying to think what else. There was something else that.
Right after that,
What?
Randy Orton.
Yeah, Randy Orton comes out and is going to take on Rusev at SummerSlam. Okay. There's no reason for it. He's like, you haven't beat me. Okay, match. I want to know the story behind why somebody's fighting. I just don't want to see 2 people fight. I want to know a reason why they're fighting. I'm not a big fan. Like last year when they said, who's Brock's next opponent, and it's Randy Orton, wasn't a fan of that. I want to see like an organic storyline. I mean, obviously it's all like scripted out of what they're going to do, but I want to see it like what seems organic to where, all right, now these guys are feuding. So, like with the Sami Zayn, Mike Kanellis thing, he interrupted them a couple times, you know, so therefore, you know, I mean, I'm okay with that, but whenever, I'm going to fight you at SummerSlam, I'm just not a fan. Like, number 1 contenders matches, that's one thing, but just to say I'm going to fight you, I'm not a fan of it. Any thoughts?
No, I was just trying to think of like who would have been maybe better, because whenever you put it on paper, Randy Orton versus Rusev at SummerSlam as just a match, not for a title or anything, feels very out of place. Like it's like those wrestlers belong there, but not together. So
it seems like what it looks like is, these 2 need to be on the show. They don't have anybody to fight. Let's put them up against each other.
Yeah. So my thing is like, because the match has no weight, if it were me, like booking it, organizing the matches and everything, I'd put that on the pre-show. Yeah. That's crazy. I'd put that on the pre-show.
Randy and Rusev on the pre-show. Yeah, it's fine. That's how I feel about that. There was something else. The Fashion Files was interesting. They're starting to kind of go downhill a little bit to me. Like they seem to be dragging out the story of who the mystery attackers are. I'm sure at this point they're going to wait until SummerSlam.
I think we're going to get it either because Breezy knows, Tyler knows,
says he knows.
Yeah, so I think we'll get it next week. I think it's.
I mean, at this point, honestly, you're you've got 2 more shows until SummerSlam. I would just hold off till SummerSlam for 2 more shows. Just do it like how they did last time and have the mystery attacker come out to their music. how I would just do it again.
Okay.
I would just do it the same way. At this point, you're too close to SummerSlam to just, I don't know, like have them find Fandango next week, and then the week after that we'll see you at SummerSlam. I mean,
Yeah.
there's 2 more Fashion Files right there. I think
Okay.
it's 2 more, right? Isn't it 2 more episodes?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you got next week and the week after, and then SummerSlam's on the 20th. So yeah,
SummerSlam's on the 20th?
I think so. Yeah,
Oh, boy.
August
Boy.
20th.
All right. That's
Why?
interesting. Gotta get my priorities in order. I'll just
Noah,
say
we're
that.
having a SummerSlam party at my apartment. We've discussed this. There will be
I-
pizza. You can look
What
at
kind
my
of
belt
pizza,
because you're
though?
not
What
taking
kind
it
of
with you.
pizza? That's the make or break, dude.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's beside the point, Noah. Jeez, you are just way off topic now. What else? There's something else that was like I really enjoyed on there, and I can't remember what it is now. John Cena versus Shinsuke was good. Shinsuke won. John Cena got dropped on the top of his head.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah, like-
brutally.
Broke the internet, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my
And
thing is,
Go ahead.
Like-
Go ahead.
I feel like, Matt, what you said on your Facebook that,
Yeah.
people in New Japan take bumps like that all the time. And I commented and said, yeah, but it's just John Cena took that bump. Kenny Omega, he can take that bump as many times as he wants.
Well, I mean, yeah,
no
he took
problem.
it, but he was still kind of rolling when he took it, so it wasn't quite as bad as it seemed to me.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm sure John Cena was happy that it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but it was still, in the moment, it was nasty. I was literally screaming, he killed Cena, because I thought that's exactly what it was. I thought that, like, the franchise boy was going to be out for months, and he was also going to film a movie in the process, but it was just ridiculous, I really thought that was it, but I don't know. It was crazy for WWE standards. And that's it.
Well, yeah, and to what I said, and basically what I said was like the guys over in Japan, and not just them, but really you'll see that at local shows that you go out to. Guys are taking those crazy bumps, and to me it was just like, not to undermine the fact that he landed right on his neck, and that could have killed him, hurt his career, paralyzed him, whatever. There's and the fact that he got up from it. I mean, he's Super Cena, so
it's just national exposure to that extent.
Yeah. Yeah, so and I get it that not everybody that watches WWE, there's a lot of casual fans that they've never seen the Japan style, the strong style, or they don't go to the local shows, or or even the diehard fans that just love the product of WWE and haven't really been exposed too much outside of that. I totally get that. It just to me it just kind of shocked me that. Yeah, he took the bump, but to me, like, I would understand it if he actually got hurt from it, but he got up and was fine, and the match was done, and, Shin was like, yo, dude, I'm sorry, I didn't mean, he's like, no, don't be sorry, you're fine, you gave them what they wanted, so.
It's part of the show,
Yeah, it was a freak thing. He grabbed him in a weird spot, he grabbed him kind of high, wasn't very low on him.
I was trying to, it was hard for me to figure out whose fault was it. It's weird to like put a blame, but like where did it go wrong?
I mean, he probably could have been grabbed lower. Obviously, I just think it was it's just one of those things when you're moving fast like that and everything. You're going to a spot. I mean, it's a dance just like anything else. And when you miss a step, I mean, it's very easy to miss those steps and to just grab in a weird spot. I don't do it for a living, but
So for this instance and who it was done to, do you think the WWE and Vince specifically is going to ban this move?
No, that's
a
stupid.
back suplex? They better not. Like,
The only reason it got as much exposure as it did was because it was John Cena. If it was anybody else,
Well, yeah,
hardly anybody would care.
And my thing is, like, if Vince could easily see that and be like, that move.
I mean,
that
he
Shinsuke
did
is
ban a
like,
curb
you
stomp,
almost
so-
killed my top star. You can't have that.
yeah, I don't. I just think it was a freak thing, and
Yeah, no.
in life and in this sport, especially in this sport, freak accidents happen all the time. Injuries happen. Look, I mean, Bailey, her shoulder's messed up now. Finn, he messed his shoulder up just hitting the wall. And I don't know. To me, it's just things go wrong. The best case scenario turned out where he got up, nothing was wrong. So I don't see it. I don't see him making a big deal about it. I don't. I mean, I think
They replayed it. They
Yeah.
replayed it like 4 times. So
Yeah,
you
so
know.
they wanted you to see it. I think once they knew he was okay, this is a spot like, oh my gosh, this is gonna get us out there, even more. This will be a video that circulates and goes viral, which it did. And we'll have to throw a link up down in the description of this video if you guys haven't seen it. Go check it out. It's yep. Scott's always wanted to do that. I can tell. Scott, what else you got?
You always gotta be ready, man. You always gotta be ready for anything. Come on.
What else you got for us?
Something else is the Usos doing the New Day. It was pretty solid. The
Yeah.
Usos are that was a solid. The Usos are solid on the mic. I think they've been underrated up till they did this A1-ish stuff, or however you want to call it. They've been on fire ever since then. So ever since Post-Mania, to me, they've been on a roll. So loving the Usos. Gracie, you just messed up my whole notes. The women's division was a little bit of a letdown, though. They really wasn't. To me, like, what is SmackDown doing? Charlotte wasn't even on the show. I don't understand. I mean, I'm
Especially
glad.
after-
They're not trying to base their women's division on one person. That's cool.
Mm.
But you have some of these other stars you need to use, and this is like twice in the past 3 weeks. He wasn't even on the show. I don't know. That's really
vacation time. That's
That's true. That's very possible. So yeah, and if Charlotte does not get on SummerSlam somehow, I'm sure it's probably gonna be like some random tag team.
Yeah.
match.
It'll be a pre-show match if she does.
Yeah. So.
And another thing. I'm holding my phone case up. What? So I was like, oh, this is weird.
They didn't even have a phone in it. That's the thing.
Yeah. A thing I read, and I should have brought this up earlier whenever we were talking about the IC Championship. Do you think the IC Championship is going to make it onto SummerSlam? I feel like it is, but some sources I've read they just feel like it's not going to make it. That just the fan reaction to Jason Jordan is not what the WWE expected, and they're going to scrap the IC title for SummerSlam. How do you feel?
I guess I would answer that question with another question. Is it that the fans aren't digging Jason Jordan, or are they not digging this he's my dad storyline thing?
I think that's what it is, because for me, I'm still, I'm not completely immersed yet. I still feel the whole campiness of it,
Yeah.
And for me, it goes back to, I guess, what I said earlier, more backstage segments, more story developing, as Scott said, just, I don't know, at this state in time, to have the IC Championship on SummerSlam would kind of feel out of place. It deserves to be on there for sure, but just at this point, if we were to just go ahead and say, WWE.com update, Jason Jordan v. The Miz for SummerSlam, I'd be like, alright, okay.
It'd be sad. It'll be real sad if the IC title doesn't make the cut, but yet you have the Cruiserweight Championship that means nothing on this show.
Oh, man.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, that would be... And that's probably what's... I could definitely see them. I don't think they've done enough so far. I mean, this storyline between Miz and Jason Jordan just started. If they even continue to roll with
Rusev
it.
and Randy don't even have a story and they're on the card. We
I
just
understand
discussed
that.
this.
I mean, no, I understand that, but I get... See, and that's a weird thing. Like, what really dictates at that point whether a match or whether a title is on there? Because to me, it's like... I mean, yeah, that makes no sense as to why two guys that really don't have a history together. It's not like they're old rivals or anything. Get a match, but then a storyline you're kind of starting up with the secondary title doesn't get a match.
All right.
So,
Well,
I don't know.
here's your 7 official matches right now for SummerSlam. You got your Fatal 4-Way for the Universal Championship. You got your SmackDown Women's Championship, Naomi and Natalya. The Raw Women's Championship, Alexa Bliss versus Bayley. Currently could change. WWE Champion Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke. Cruiserweight Champion Neville versus Tozawa. And then the U.S. Championship, AJ versus Kevin. And then Randy and Rusev. So all but the tag team titles and the IC title already are on the show. So both tag team titles don't. So those 3 is going to put you at 10. And then you've got room for, what, 3 more matches?
Mm.
That's going to be tight.
Is SummerSlam a 4-hour show? That's
Yeah.
what it is, right? Yeah. Okay.
Why
Oh
they're gonna
yeah,
have
they
13
could
matches.
squeeze some more. They could squeeze some more.
Oh man, if I'm glad that they're putting in the effort to make these long shows, but I remember SummerSlam was just like,
Last
or not
year's
SummerSlam, Mania was. I mean, it was a good show, great matches, but like the last hour or two was kind of like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you
you
mean.
just get you get a little zombie, and
My thing is, I'd hate to have to watch SummerSlam or any Big Four pay-per-view, like over in the East Coast or the West Coast, just anywhere. Like, because like for me, for our pay-per-views to end at 10 o'clock, I dig that. I love it.
well,
for
the
me,
West Coast
that's perfect.
they'd be done at what, 8 or 9?
I'd hate
I'd
it.
be okay with that.
I wouldn't like that. I don't know. That does throw me off. But no, I don't
Used
know.
to it, it's not.
Eh. No, I dig just the way the time is. But yeah, if 4 to 5 hours, it's a stretch. It all just depends on the matches, match quality, how the night goes,
Yeah.
how the crowd is feeling. But
So you got 10 matches, then you got to make. John Cena's gonna have a match. That's 11. Trying to think who else they're building up right now. Like I said, I feel like you got to have Charlotte on that pay-per-view in some way, shape, or form. That'd be 12. And then isn't there the Hardy Boys is 13. And then what else? Is there anything else major going on?
Baron Corbin, do you think he needs a match?
Baron Corbin, from what I hear, is going to be John Cena because I guess after SmackDown, Baron Corbin tried to go wreck John Cena. And
Oh,
it
yeah, I
didn't
saw
work
that.
out well for him. I mean, I guess so you got John Cena would be 11, Charlotte would be 12, and then Hardy Boys would be 13. Well, then if you have Big Show or Big Cass and Big Show, that'd be, I don't know.
I
Could
hope
be a
that match
lot of
gets
matches.
scrapped. I just hope
A
that match gets
lot.
scrapped.
It's probably gonna be a pre-show match. I don't know. It's gonna be a lot of matches.
Yep. Gonna be a wild night. Wild night at Scott's house.
Yeah.
Hey. Does that cover SmackDown or?
Yep, that's it on SmackDown. So if you guys, or if we want to talk about NXT and get ready for Brooklyn 3. Oh, and you got Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt. Oh my God, guys.
It's too much.
SummerSlam's gonna be a 2-day event.
Oh my gosh.
So here are the other rumored. This is just from CBS. You got SmackDown Tag Team Champions New Day Usos. Raw Tag Team is Sheamus and Cesaro, looking like Dean and Seth. Would you be okay with that? Would that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finn and Bray. John Cena, Baron Corbin, IC Championship, Hardy Boys against the Club, against the Revival, and then Big Cass, Big Show. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 14. A lot. That's a lot.
Some of those matches are gonna end
I
very.
mean, some of them are
fast.
gonna be short. Yeah, like Big Show, Big Cass. I don't see going very long. That IC match, I bet, doesn't last very long.
Yeah.
Anyway, NXT.
All I saw, and all I really cared to see, was Aleister Black. That was it. That man. Whew. Give me chills. But no, the little black mass he gave to Hideo Itami, I'm digging it. I think that's a comfortable feud for Alistair.
I believe it's
feel like-
official for Takeover.
for Brooklyn, yeah. I feel like it's comfortable for even both of them, for Hideo to come off of. I don't know if his stint with Cassius counts as a feud or whatever, but the match they had, I just feel like this is comfortable. It's not too crazy, it's not too big, it's just right.
Mhm.
For Aleister Black, it's just interesting. He wins. Great. Then to me, I'm fine, depending on whatever the results from McIntyre and Rude. Go ahead and put Alistair up for that title. But, Hideo's a lot of pins in his just life, in and out of the ring. He's been.
I'm telling you, he's on his way out, and they're just trying to get some people over on his way out.
Man,
It's my guess.
Yeah.
I guess in that case, go Alistair. But I don't know. That's wild. But all I have to say about NXT is just everything with Aleister Black. That's all I really got. Everything else, I know that Ember Moon surprised Asuka with the lovely old Eclipse.
How do you surprise somebody with that?
No, I mean, you
You
just
gotta go to the
kinda-
top rope. You gotta be. That's.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, with the positioning, it can be pulled off well. If you just over. But,
I mean, like an RKO was one thing, because it's just like, it's real quick. Like an AA, you gotta set up for an AA to me. You can't really surprise. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to know what the match card it currently is for Takeover?
ain't just on like 2 matches.
There's 5.
Oh, okay. Then indulge me.
Bobby Roode versus Drew McIntyre. Asuka versus Ember Moon. Authors of Pain versus Sanity. And Aleister Black and Hideo Itami and Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Almas.
Interesting. All right. Okay.
Oh, didn't we have we had a debut, right?
We did, I do believe. Noah, you were the one who was just talking about Aleister Black. Who did he face?
I'm not hearing. Noah.
I think we lost Noah. Oh, jeez. All right, we'll take over, Matt. It's fine. Okay.
Yeah, so Kyle O'Reilly debuts at NXT, and that was pretty cool. Some of our Scott, obviously you and Noah know, but some of our viewers / listeners probably don't know. I help out with the National Wrestling League here in Missouri, in Kansas City, do some video work for them, and at a show in St. Louis, Kyle O'Reilly was doing his last show for the NWL and walks up to me and asked me if I knew the Wi-Fi password for the venue we were at. I did not. I said, "Nah, man, I don't. I'm sorry." He goes, "It's all right."
Highlight of Matt's year. Highlight of Matt's year.
It's pretty rad.
Noah's back. Yeah, that was that, and getting to see see somebody that you met like that and go to see him go to the big leagues and do their thing. It's something that never gets old. I really enjoy my job, and Kyle's a great guy. From what he's seen, he seems like a great guy and really gives the fans all he has. So congratulations, Kyle O'Reilly. I'll try and get the Wi-Fi password for you next time.
I think it's really cool that now, as aware of we are as the other brands and promotions and most of the behind the scenes stuff, it's cool to track a wrestler and their career.
Yeah.
Because I saw Kyle wrestle at our local show, NWL, and I knew of him because of his work in New Japan. And I'm just like, man, this is awesome. I'm getting to see this guy wrestle, and that's cool. And then just a few months later, turn around, now he's with the WWE. That is sick. I love watching that because I just get so excited. I was scrolling through my Instagram and saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, I just smiling.
Surprised you didn't plug your Instagram name on there right there.
God, I don't care about my Instagram. I don't care about High Risk Podcast.
Wow. Wow.
No, I totally agree. Like seeing these guys travel around and getting to kind of see their journey. Another one that's really cool is Marty Bell, one of the women's wrestlers in the NWL. Now she's part of the Mae Young Classic. Stood in line with her at catering one time at the TV taping for NWL and told her congrats on Mae Young, and she said thanks. Again, highlight of my life. It's just cool. It's just cool to interact with people who like are in cahoots with the big team, the major league. So, but yeah.
Didn't she call you Maddie?
Yeah.
She kind of has a nickname for him. No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. No big deal. No, but it's just really cool to kind of see that and everything. So, anyway, anything else with NXT that we want to talk about?
Nah, man.
Okay, I know last time we talked about the G1 for a little bit. How's that going? Any updates? Anything worth mentioning?
Caught up? Are you caught up by chance?
I have not. No, we've reached the peak, the point where I need to re-up my New Japan membership. Yeah, we're in that little part of life.
That's a process. Boy,
but no,
a process.
In a shocking turn of events, what was predicted to be Kenny Omega is not in the top of his block. So far, it is Okada. So that's been, I believe they're in the B block of the tournament. But so that's sort of been the big shocker moment. Everybody predicted Kenny to sort of win and do all that, but Okada's been looking the strongest. He hasn't ate a pin yet, so that's really nice. But I mean, just overall, match quality is so off the charts. Even these older wrestlers, I believe the oldest wrestler there is this guy. His name is Yuji Nagata. Really cool. One of the first New Japan matches I watched was with him, and it's crazy. The guy is, I think he's about 50-ish years old. I know is about the same age as the Undertaker, and it's crazy. Still putting on good quality matches, taking some pretty stiff bumps. I love it. So just over there, great matches. You guys really should give it a watch. But I mean, the match times are long. We're talking about 20, 25-minute matches. No match yet has gone to a draw, but there's just been a lot of great matches. So it's hard to take everything in, and then if you really want to watch the entire 3-hour show where they have other matches throughout the day, it's ridiculous. So much awesome stuff going on. But over there, not too much. I know that we're getting a little bit near the end, given we're in August now, and the tournament finals, I believe, are on the 14th. I'm pretty sure. Either that or a little bit more down the line, but we're getting there. We're getting towards the end. But
so you got to have your New Japan account figured out by then, because I'll be wanting to bum that off of you, as will Scott, and
Just the finals.
Yeah, just
we don't care
yeah.
about all the prelim matches.
Well, I mean, I would like to see that, but if I can, it's no big deal. I'd at least like to see the finals or whatever. So
at least that and
I heard
Okada
a beep.
Omega.
It didn't sound good. I heard a beep. All right, continue. Continue.
But no, nothing else with New Japan. One thing I did want to talk about that is pretty interesting. WWE recently just took a patent out for Taboo Tuesday. Not patent, but like a trademark. That's what it is, right? Trademarks? Yeah.
yeah,
Do you think that, it's weird because back in 2006, 2007, when this first happened, at the peak of, I guess, the internet's, sort of marketing, we're getting out there. Now to have it back whenever everybody's so accustomed to the internet and it's adaptable, we've got it everywhere, everybody's used to it, everybody knows it and can use it now. How, do you think it's gonna be better than originally intended? I mean, obviously, the whole spiel behind, who's this wrestler gonna fight? Are they gonna wrestle this guy, or this guy? That I feel like that was a load of bull crap.
Yeah,
just
I mean, I
because,
feel like they're anytime they would show like pick the match or pick the weapon and like the fans vote via social media or text in or whatever. To me, it's like, who you fooling? Like either you have several different storylines for, okay, what if the fans pick this? Which I don't think I don't give them that kind of credit.
No.
I think they're gonna skew the results to what they want it to be and make us feel like we made the choice. But no, I don't think that's the.
Either that, or they'll give you like 3 options, and you already clearly know which one's gonna win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they'll what was that? I saw this at some point, and like they will have this basically the same match that you choose from. So it's like a Brooklyn beatdown and
Chicago street fight,
Chicago street fight, alleyway ass whipping, but it's all a
backstage
street fight.
brawl.
Yeah, but it's all the same match. So it's like, they fool you, and I think they actually did that at some point. The video I watched, no, I think it was with you that I watched it, and they pulled up, like they had it on the Titantron, and it was like actually like the same match, just reworded and rebranded.
Gosh,
But
that's crazy.
so I feel like if that didn't work when kind of the internet, like you said, was at its peak as far as social media and kind of a company can be personal with their fans or whatever. If it didn't quite, because to me it didn't really quite work then. Like it just kind of like, okay, and then it blew over. So I feel like if it didn't work then, I don't understand why it would work now. But I mean, we always talk about we want something different, we want something better. If that's their effort, to me, okay, at least they're trying to do something different. At least.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got. That's just the only question I had.
Gonna mess up my SmackDown, but that's okay.
Yeah, well, I guess they would move SmackDown to Thursdays then, I guess.
I hope not.
I'd
rather have it be on Tuesday and just be.
Yeah. So Taboo Thursday.
Wait, or it could. I don't know, Taboo. Yeah.
I mean,
Thursday
it still
work out
starts.
better.
It still starts with a T, but it's not as catchy as Taboo Tuesday.
And I'm not saying like I don't like SmackDown, but I'd like it being earlier in the week to kind of like get it over with in a way, but not in a negative way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and it gives us time since we record on Thursdays. I mean, we get the front end of the week to watch it, come up with our stuff for the show, and then come together. So, Vince, don't Vince it up, man. Let us have our week. Let us be
that,
prepared.
or I mean, if they came around and did something like a Cyber Sunday instead, like that, had that bring that pay-per-view back, which they were pretty much the exact same, concept.
Or why don't they bring back Fatal 4-Way?
Hey, that's a pitch right there. No.
I will quit the show, Scott. I will quit.
That's okay. I can take over. No one I did this once without you, so I'm sure we can manage.
Yeah.
You love to remind me of that. We can do it without you, man. We don't
Best audio we've had on the show since we started.
That was, and I'm telling you guys, I'm really nervous about this. We're doing the whole split screen now, which means we're not going through OBS. We're using something else, and we can't really manually adjust the levels.
So worried about the split screen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got, I kind of like this. I think it's better.
Well, we'll find out how well it works.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah. Let us.
No, you gotta be ready.
Okay. Is there that's gonna be our first line of merch. It's just gonna be a guy like. Okay, guys. Is there anything else we want to address or bring up before we call it a day?
Oh.
Yeah. Try not to break it while you have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I've got a good place already.
Is it bendable? Can you put it around your waist?
I mean, we kind of We tried 2-on-1, and I'm afraid it's gonna break if we try to
Yeah.
do it on the other side. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't recommend
Yeah.
it.
So I mean,
I've always thought I'm more of a shoulder guy anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there you go.
go. There you
That's
go.
nice. That's
one
nice.
side kind of bends. So
Yeah.
Oh boy, it's almost like in 2K17, like the belt doesn't completely attach to him. It's just sort of
Yeah.
just existing
Yeah.
on him.
Just levitates off the shoulder.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't phase through your shirt and everything, then I hope that's a bug that can we finally fix that crap? Come on, 2K. Like, can we finally wear a shirt and a title around our waist at the same time?
We'll see.
does look good though. It does look good here next to me. I just wanna.
For two guys who don't craft, and I'm not gonna lie, Scott did a brunt of the work, a bulk of it. It turned out really good.
Yeah, I'm excited to get to work on my side plates. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't put too much thought into it, Noah. You probably won't have any anytime soon.
Wow. Oh my gosh, this guy, he's really begging for it. I can't wait for whenever we get this whole 2K thing figured out because, man,
Scott's got to get good at it first, because right now I feel like if that's what it weighed on,
yeah.
Scott would be the first ever podcast champion, and that would probably be about it. But all right, guys, is that it for today? What do you think? Is that for the week?
Yeah, I can't toss in anything else. I'm done. I'm tapped out.
Cool. Guys, let us know what you thought in the comments down below. Facebook us, tweet us, all that good stuff. If you want to watch the NJPW stuff, make sure you let your bank know that you're going to be making transactions with Japan. You're going to have to do that every month whenever it comes time to pay for that. As Noah said, that's kind of the process he's in right now. It's not too hard. Just call them up, let them know, all that good stuff. Use Google Translate to translate their website and all that good stuff. If you want to catch them just on TV, if you tune into Access TV, Friday nights at 7 o'clock. They show some of their product, I believe. I haven't watched it recently, but I believe it's still...
They just started the G1 tournament.
Okay,
they just started it.
So it's still a month or 2 or 3 behind.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll be a little bit behind, but you still get to see some of that strong style action that we talked about throughout this episode and previous episodes before. Like I said, Facebook us, tweet us, Twitter at High Risk Podcast, Facebook is High Risk. Check us out right here on YouTube. Hit the share button, subscribe, all that good stuff at High Risk Podcast right here. So, guys,
comment below. Comment below. If you have any ideas.
Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. It's been great. Congratulations to the first ever High Risk Podcast official champion, belt in hand, Mr. Scott Colley over there. He's going to keep it warm for us. Guys, thanks for tuning in this week. We really appreciate it. As always tuck your chin.